Elevate Jiu-Jitsu Mag presents Ask a Lady Black Belt. Today's panel consists of Gina Franson from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Monique Travis from Atlanta, Georgia, and Denise Houle from Atlanta, Georgia.
My name is Gina Franson. I'm the owner and head instructor of X2 Fitness in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm a black belt under Professor Chris McCune, and we are under the Higa Machado Association. A big thank you to Elevate Jiu-Jitsu Mag for allowing me to participate in Ask a Lady Black Belt. So Rebecca, you asked an awesome question. We could probably do an entire podcast on the topic of blue belts. I'm going to give you a few things that I hope you find helpful. First and foremost, everyone struggles at blue belts. There's that phrase, the blue belt blues. It's there for a reason. It's a difficult belt. It takes quite some time to go from blue to purple. So I think that can be a little frustrating. Also, when we first start, our reason for training, to start training, is going to be completely different for why we continue training. So at each belt, you're going to probably look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I still doing it? What's my focus? What's my reason? What's my passion? What's my drive? And I believe that comes as a surprise once we get the blue belts. We weren't expecting that. So our reason for starting is going to be, it's not going to continue throughout your journey. Also, when we go from white to blue, we're building foundation. I believe that when we go from blue to purple, we're building grit. That can also be quite challenging. And lastly, I would highly recommend getting a female mentor. I did not have one. I think that would have meant the world to me to have one, and it would have made all the difference. So I hope this helps, and happy training.
Mo Travis, Kennesaw, Georgia, black belt under Knuckle Up Fitness. Okay, to answer Rebecca H. of California's question, what I wish I would have known as a blue belt was to just relax and have fun. I think as a blue belt, for myself, when I was a blue belt, I got too serious. I was competing a lot, and I had a lot of injuries, and I pushed myself through these injuries when I should have been a little bit smarter. Still dealing with these injuries many years later. And also, I wish I would have told myself, what you know at this point is what you know. I always felt like I was cramming for an exam before competitions, and always felt like I needed to, do as much as I could, and I overtrained all the time, and that really hurt me in the long run. So what I wish I would have known as well is to enjoy the journey and listen to your body a lot more.
Hi, I'm Denise Houle, black belt under Herberto Travin in Atlanta, Georgia. Rebecca H. out of California asks, what we wish we would have known as a blue belt. My answer to that is, I actually have two answers. The first answer that I feel is really important, I started jiu-jitsu at the age of 39, which was a little bit later than some. And in the beginning, I did not take the time for self-care. So I wish as a blue belt, I would have listened to my body more and taken the time to do stretching, focus on rehab, not really try to push through those injuries so much. I do believe that by doing that, I have some things today, 11 years later, as a result of my stubbornness and pushing through. I feel like maybe I could have prevented some of those. So that's really important to me. And the other thing is I like to compare how I feel like I was as a blue belt to how I was back when I learned how to drive. So I remember when I first got my driver's license, I felt like I knew everything about driving. I was the best driver. I knew it all. And I messed up a lot. Had quite a few accidents and some stupid things. Looking back at it, I didn't know anything. And sometimes that's how I feel when I look back on my blue belt, that I did things that were pretty crazy back then. One, again, not taking care of my body, I competed a lot. I do believe that I had an ego. I was humble, but also I had an internal ego where, you know, our little local group, we would do our local tournaments. I thought that I was, you know, really good and we were just so great. And I went out to, I believe it was in 2011, as a blue belt to the Worlds as an adult competitor, and was really quickly humbled on the mats. Found myself having a fit basically under this stadium, crying, being so upset. And when I look back at that, it wasn't that important, but at the time it just, to me, losing was very difficult. So I really had to grow a lot between blue belt, purple belt. Learning those lessons took me a while to learn. So I hope that helps in some kind of way, and thank you for your question.